Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Oztron and we're back inside of GearBlocks, and for today's episode we are going to continue troubleshooting our XTR build and work on this oscillation issue. I think I've figured out a few things that I wanted to share with you guys, and I've made a few adjustments and tweaks to the overall chassis that I wanted to go over. And I want to do a couple of experiments with the drivetrain, not the drivetrain, but the engine, and see if swapping out a different engine might be part of the problem that I'm running into. I've done so much tweaking and redesign of the suspension that I find it hard to believe that it's actually our suspension that's actually causing the issue, or maybe it's a combination of everything, but I don't know. I'm really starting to believe that, you know, some of the issues that I'm running into are more just like a code thing with, you know, something that maybe the devs need to like look into. And, you know, this weird oscillation might have something to do with the boundary boxes to the, you know, specific components and parts, and especially the rotating assembly to the vehicle. And also I think there's like an inertia thing. I have this little construction debug thing over here that I can open up. Let me open that up real quick and we can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. So this shows, you know, a variety of different things, like all the transform pieces and your composite bound boxes, I guess. And then also like the part transform pieces and the part bound boxes, which I think is the main thing here that I was noticing with the wheels and the diagonal pieces. And so let me get out of this. Let me show you guys and leave this on. I'll kind of show you like how I was showing you guys before, or telling you guys before, that the tires like will have like this square box around it that you kind of see. You know, everything has a square box. And what I was noticing in the previous episode with my suspension was that as the tires turned, this box right here was binding into this lower suspension piece and the upper suspension piece, and it was causing like the tire to lift up and, you know, shake and do some weird distortion stuff. And I think, you know, now that I've cleared it out and I've made sure that as the tire turns, it's not going to hit, you know, any of the suspension components right here. And this piece right here is our like tie rod piece, so this actually turns with the wheel, so it'll never hit the wheel. But the lower suspension piece and the upper, you know, lower A-arm and the upper A-arm are, you know, well clear of the tire. And, you know, that was, I think, something that I ended up changing that made a huge difference with the stability of the front end and how it was handling around turns, especially while turning. It just seemed to get really jerky and kind of sporadic. And if you look at my previous video, you'll see what I'm talking about. As the suspension turns, pieces would lift up and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, a lot of that was, you know, some of that was due to the tie rod, you know, binding up and causing it to lift the tire up, which it still kind of does. I mean, to a certain extent, you know, most tie rods will do that at, you know, specific, you know, suspension angle, you know, during its travel. But it was really bad before. So, you know, if you look at this angled piece right here, so we have this, and it's hard to see with all these boxes. I wish I could selectively, you know, turn on some of these boxes, but we're gonna have to just imagine and use our imagination. But this box right here, or this piece, this diagonal piece, actually has a binding box that's a complete square. So it goes all the way down and all the way through and all the way over around this. And maybe better yet, here's what I could do. There you go. So see what I'm talking about? So like you have this bound to box that goes all the way around this diagonal part. Well, if you put this like over your tire to use it as a fender, I think this part of the box, either on the, you know, I don't know which part of it, but somehow I feel like this part is affecting this part of the box on this thing right here, this wheel, whatever I'm trying to say. So when you're placing something like this, and let's rotate it wrong way. So if you place this part like over a tire, let's go the other way, and you put it like, say like this, and you're going to use it as like a fender well or something like that. Well, this box that it has going around it is overlapping the tire right there, you know? So I think it's causing an issue. And so I was seeing that when I was trying to create like a body panel and create fenders and stuff. And it was like making my tires act weird. So I removed these and then everything started working fine. So I don't know. I think it's something that maybe the devs need to look at. I don't know if it's happening with everyone, but just some people are getting, through it by turning off the collision part of the parts, I guess. So you can like load up a script over here, and I'm not sure which script it is. I think maybe it's this one. And if you turn this one on and you come over here, you can basically select an item, and then you can hit tab, I believe. Tab will make the part collidable and make the part, non-collidable. So if you go through and do all that, then I think that's how you can build some of the stuff like the transmissions that are all jammed into a tiny box and are real small. I think they just have all their collision, properties disabled. So I don't know. But another thing that I noticed while I was kind of looking at all of these binding boxes using this little debug tool is that if we go here and we show this inertia thing, look at this. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I understand what the inertia is meaning, and I'm assuming that this is like the rotating assembly around the center of the vehicle, and specifically like this clutch piece right here. And maybe it's just the center of gravity or something with the vehicle. I'm not really sure. But this thing, when my car runs out of, goes out of control and it flips all around and goes crazy, which you guys are going to see here in a minute, it follows like this circle. And it seems like it's rotating around this giant circle when it does it. So I think this has something to do with, the inertia of the vehicle and specifically the engine. So I'm not really sure. Now I could do something like where I can take the engine. Let's see if we do this. I can actually select my engine and just move it out over here. So it still shows the inertia thing. I'm not sure if that's tied to this thing right here. I guess it's not. Maybe it's tied to I don't know what it's tied to. And maybe it's something that we need. Did I get rid of it? Oh, dang it. I closed the thing out. Let's open up that script again and go back here. Turn it on and off. So somehow it's going around the chat. Oh, dang it. I keep closing it out. I meant to hit the little tab there. So I'm not really sure what this thing is. Like, it's not even shifting or anything. So I'm not really sure what this is representing besides the inertia of the whole vehicle. Maybe it's tied to the tires. I really don't know. Like, it's like I can't really figure out where the inertia thing is, what it's tied to, because it can't be one of these things. No. So I don't know. Maybe you guys understand what's going on right there. But I think this all has a, certain relation to the wonkiness that I'm running into. Let's make sure we're good there. So yeah, let's delete that part. And I'm going to turn the little debug thing off so we can get that out of the way. But just something to kind of note. So let's go ahead. I'm going to drop this down. Oh yeah. Well, first, before I drive it, I wanted to show you guys like what I've done. So on the suspension, I was noticing like I have this kind of cantilever rear suspension set up right here. And I put this cylinder right here, made it out of titanium basically. And that helped with, this was kind of bending and causing like an oscillation within the shocks. And now that this is like more like stiff, I guess, it has helped quite a bit. And another thing I changed out is I went back to the normal CV joints for the axles, just because it allows the suspension to travel a little bit more accurately and kind of act more like normal suspension. If I use like what is it? I don't know what they're called. The joint, what am I trying to say? Whatever these are right here, these knuckle joints. So if you use these, then your suspension gets kind of locked up and it kind of clunks around. Now, if you don't have a lot of suspension travel and you're like a pretty flat vehicle, that's not a big deal, I guess. But with mine, I'm wanting like, good suspension travel and more just like a regular car, and I ended up going back to this setup, and I think I have it behaving pretty good now. Like the suspension still oscillates and does all of that, but it's like 100 times better than it was. And I think the suspension is pretty dialed in, and I don't think any of that stuff is coming from how I had the suspension set up. I think it's either coming from the engine rotating assembly underneath it, or like this crazy clutch thing, or maybe even the transmission. I think there's just something between the middle of the car. So that's why I want to stick an electric engine on, or just some other engine, to see if we can figure out exactly, if, kind of eliminate that, I guess, from the equation here. Now on the front suspension, I totally rebuilt it like I was telling you, where it doesn't bind up into those little bound boxes. And I've redesigned it so now it uses like these little right angle adjustments here. And it's kind of weird how it is, but it's really strong. It doesn't really move around much. It acts just like regular suspension. And I ended up putting the shocks in the middle. I had to go to large shocks right there. I had them at an angle, but it still was causing some weird, strange things where my whole geometry of my suspension would shift inwards or move, and I'd have to continue, moving it all the time. And so it's just better to just kind of do everything vanilla so that I don't have to deal with those kind of issues. So I have it all squeezed up in a pretty tight little package inside the front suspension, and it's working pretty good. Still got our little fan, little belts pulling our pulleys around. I took the alternator off because it was kind of getting in the way of some things, and I rerouted the exhaust. So now I split up. I just wanted to see if it did anything, but these 2 cylinders actually have their own outlet pipe, and then the last 3 cylinders have another exhaust pipe. So we have kind of like a dual quad exhaust, on each side. So each one of these is an independent exhaust pipe, with handling a couple of cylinders. I wanted to get all crazy and have like a, real unequal length header style setup to see if that changed anything with the sound, but I don't think it's going to. And it was a lot of work just to do this. So anyway, so that's just kind of something I was playing around with. But I got a little piece right there. That's not the tungsten, or not tungsten, but the titanium. I have everything made out of titanium, and including the floorboard, which is like, I like titanium because it's real rigid. So I have the same strength as the steel, but we're kind of have the, the density, lightness of the carbon fiber. So it's kind of the best of both worlds in a sense, where it's real rigid and strong, but it's also lightweight and, all that stuff. So it's good for suspension pieces if we don't want to use the carbon fiber, because carbon fiber seems like it was flexing a lot. So I don't know if it will still do that with this new design, because I'm using new types of pivot points that are a lot stronger and seem to, be a lot better for this setup. So let's go ahead and drop this to the ground, and we can kind of look at it. When I move the suspension around, we can see, pick it up. We have our sway bar doing its job, and you can see that it has a nice little thud when it lands. So the dampening is pretty nice. And then this right here, we can kind of see the suspension setup there. Could probably stiffen up the front end a little bit, but I actually like it being loose, and it helps with the front end coming up. And I've actually been able to do wheelies and stuff in this every so often. When I turn up the grip strength right here to like 3, I can actually do a wheelie in this thing sometimes. So I don't know, it's kind of, I want to get the stability figured out first before I start going further into that. But let's go ahead and jump in and make sure we have speed, RPM. I want that to be, I don't know why this changes so much. Here, come back. Thing rolls around everywhere. And let's change this from, we have speed. I kind of want to see what the power is, then maybe RPM, then turn that there, then torque. Yeah, let's do that. Make it 1 second. And I think that one's good. Oh, that one changed too, man. What the heck? So change that to speed. Let's do RPM. No, yeah. Let's do power and then torque. And this one, check that. Okay, so we should be good. So we can see back here, because I like to drive in kind of a third person point of view. So let's drop this down and let's see what we have here. I'm gonna start the vehicle and get my controller turned on again. So now this thing is pretty quick and it does kind of veer a little bit, but I think, like I said, I think it has something to do with the engine. I'm starting to notice certain aspects of the engine's like rotating assembly causing some issues. And I don't know, but once I get up to also 400 miles an hour, over 400 miles an hour, it will like just explode basically. So let's see what we can do here, and we'll accelerate, see how fast we can get this thing going. And you can see the suspension lifting up. Ooh, there's our jiggle, and this will go away. Let's see. So I'm kind of steering it just gently. We're already at 300, I think, 319. So I'm able to steer this thing. It's still a little all over the place. And then I think we're maxed out at 416, and then there it goes with the engine exploding. And then we're gonna like, remember how I was showing you that inertia thing? See how the vehicle's rotating kind of around that inertia deal until it does whatever this. It's like the physics engine decides to puke on us for a second and just freaks out. So we can do that, turn this way, and all right, let's rotate it back to there. But yeah, so you see how it kind of, when it loses control, it kind of flips out for a second, and it follows that sphere of that inertia sphere that you guys saw on the debug thing. And I think that has something to do with, you know, what's going on. But let's drop it down again, and we're going to get in the seat. And another thing is, if we look, this car will like drive really good. Let me go up a couple of gears real quick. Go down a gear. If I turn like this, it will not flip over. Like it's really, you know, stable. And I'm like turning really hard, and I cannot get this thing to flip over at all. It's super, you know, I don't know how you call it. It's super steady and stable. And I can get the rear end to kick out. See, we're actually sliding the rear end right there. We're kind of like drifting the car a little bit. And so we can get the tires to break loose like that. So there, I kind of like over revved it, and that can make it lose control. But man, when it does that weird stuff, I think that has something to do with the engine. So come back. All right. And let's drop it down. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And I know I didn't really get to my point, but so this way it's pretty stable. Like I can make hard turns this way and it's just fine. Unless I drop down to first gear or something, it gets all crazy. But if I turn this way, it will, well, maybe it's this way. I don't know. One of these ways. Shoot, I can't get it to do it. Let's go down, go up a gear. Okay, maybe it's this way that I'm thinking of. I can't remember which way. But yeah, so right now you see how the left tire is staying on the ground, and I'm just doing a big circle. I know it's hard to tell with the weird grid lines to the road map here, but I'm just basically going in a giant circle. And we're doing like 150 miles an hour, but I mean, I can go like 200 miles an hour in a circle, right? But as soon as I switch the other way, see how it starts to pull that tire off the ground? Well, I've noticed that is in the direction that the rotating assembly is going for the engine. And it's, you know, even though it's a lot steadier than this thing has ever been, it will flip over right here. So I'm just sliding, so it's hard for you guys to tell, but I'm basically just doing a big old drift. But you know, it's really hard to tell. Probably making people nauseous with the grid lines. So there you go. See, you kind of see how it's. Let's drop down a gear and then see if I can make it spin out. But I just don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Let's see if we can go drop down. it's just like you can kind of see how it pulls that tire off the ground. There it goes. So this used to happen like every single time. I've tuned the suspension and the chassis so much better now that it's actually hard to throw it out of control. Now, if we get on a grippier material like the asphalt and some of the other maps, it will do that. So I'll show that to you guys at some point, but it still has that problem. I think it has something to do with the engine or just the direction of the rotating assemblies, you know? So, all right, so where am I going here? Let's see if we can find the edge of the map here and see how this thing gets up to gear. So we're at 200. It still has that weird shake jiggle, but then it kind of like calms down, right? And it starts doing it slowly. And I'm turning and stuff, you know? So, I mean, we're turning. And it's staying pretty stable. Now, if I go the other way, if I go this way, see that we get the weird stuff going on. Oh my God, I like recovered it. Smack. All right. So yeah, when I go that way, it's always going to flip over. But the other way, I cannot get it to flip over at all. So again, like I said, I think it has something to do with the rotating stuff. So the direction of all that. I even like went as far as I put a counter rotating weight over here on this side. So as everything rotated this way, I put a lead weight that rotated the other way, hoping to like cancel it out, but it doesn't make any difference at all. I put my seat over here on this side. It didn't make any difference. I sat on this side. It didn't seem to make any difference as well. So just seems like, now the one thing I have done is like change the direction of my engine, but I don't want to do that because then it means like weird stuff starts happening with the transmission and all that. So just going to have to deal with it and the direction it's going. But why don't we go ahead and swap out the engine and put in an electric motor. So I'm just going to take this thing out and I'll try to put this up on a workshop. When I get through with all this, I'm putting all this up on a workshop. I just want to get it like kind of tuned up to where it makes for a nice platform for everyone to use and stuff like that. So, and same thing with the engine. Like this engine makes a lot of power. It goes 400 miles an hour and it works pretty well. So, and I think it looks pretty nice. But I'll put this up too, and this is, you know, and all that. So let's see what we can do for the electric motor, right? That's probably what we should use. I think that would be the simplest thing that would be just drastically different. If I just put another engine in it, like a 4-cylinder, I want something that has as much torque and power as that. So I'm hoping that we can get there with this thing. I don't know exactly how much power these have. So let me put this in somewhere. Oh, we need a drive shaft, don't we? Grab a drive shaft here. Just cram that in there. And let's change the size of this thing. I'm not really sure. I'm going to lock this together so I can just grab this end. We'll just plop it there. Now, where does that sit? Does that... Oh, that sits below my chassis. Okay, maybe I can flip it around. Let's see. Let's just flip it like this. And... Oh, come on. Stick it in there. Yeah, okay. So we're right there. And could probably just take one of these pieces. Oops. In the world? What are we doing here? And I guess plop it over here. Maybe copy that. And rotate it. Okay, so we need to connect it. Okay, good. So it does connect to that. I wasn't sure. Sometimes things don't line up to this transmission very well. So that's why I have like this weird pulley system, because there's this weird offset to this transmission. I have no idea. I think it has something to do with this Y block that they're using is causing it to have a kind of a split the difference between one of the half blocks, if that makes sense. So I don't know. So I'm having to use this belt system to compensate for that little tiny offset. All right, so we have the motor. I think that's probably good, right? Like, I don't think I need to support it any more than that. So let's see, what are our settings on this thing? Okay. So max RPM. We need joystick controls. Put that on the acceleration. Oh, we can do reverse also. Oh, that's... Can I bind that to a key? Oh, no, I can't. All right, won't worry about reverse. Okay, so max RPM. Oof. Okay. That's not very max. All right, what's our torque? Okay, 4,000, 4,000. Do we want the auto brake thing? I'll leave that off right now. We need the RPM to be the same as what is on our engine over here, which I think I have it at 6,000. Yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and change this. I want it to be comparable. So, oh, I didn't save any of that stuff. All right, so I'll just grab all that. Let's do 6,000. And I'm going to leave the torque at 4,000. I don't think this makes 4,000 torque, but it makes 1,300. So, matter of fact, let's do this. Let's just make it, where's that at? That's way down there. Holy cow. Okay, we'll just max it up. Try to break our engine here. Input smoothing, I don't want it to be instant, so let's just turn that up to like 24 or something. And that way maybe it'll ease into the throttle and not destroy the transmission. Okay, do we need to hook power up to this or no? Okay, speed is there. We have RPM. Let's connect this to there. And let's see, let's connect this one to there also. And let's change. Okay, so that's already set to RPM, and that's set to RPM. Okay, let's try this out. I'm just going to leave my motor over there, and let's see what we got here. All right, definitely a lot lighter, right? So that other engine was squishing the suspension down pretty nice. This engine is way lighter. Does it say how heavy this engine is, or this motor? Where's the motor at? Its mass is 35. I guess this doesn't tell us what our mass is. I wonder if one of those scripts will tell us. But all right, so let's get inside of here. And what's oh, I guess it's a motor, so I don't have to I'm like trying to start it like the starter motor. Okay, so how do I get this thing to move? I haven't really done this. Let's see. Move. Wait. Do we have to do something here? Oh, wait. Is it on? Oh, it's not on. Whoa, wait. Oh my God. Oh, wait, come back. Oh my God. It's going backwards. Okay. Shoo, we almost lost our car. Why is it going so crazy? What in the world? Joystick, I told it to stay there. Okay, so all right, so we have it on. I don't have any other keys assigned to it, so I don't know why it took off. Auto brake, invert direction. Okay, it's going backwards. So let's invert the direction, I guess. Okay. All right. We good? Okay. That was crazy. I was like, what the heck? We're at 1 RPM. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh, there we go. All right. So there's no shift. Oh, I still have my shifting. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wait, what? Okay, how fast we're going? We're at 5,000 RPMs. Okay, we need to shift up. Holy cow. But look how stable the car is. It's not doing the whole shake at all. There's no oscillation. Can we still get to the same speed? We're at 250. And our max RPM is 6,000 RPMs. So we're at 308. It's weird. Oh, dang it. Okay. Whoa. Easy. No. Okay. All right. Well, we're not out of we don't have the weird out of control flip over situation that we've been having. So that's good. We might be figuring something out here. The wall's right there, so let's turn you around that way. And let's see how fast we can go. Let's see what we can do with this torque thing. If I use auto braking, does that help? I don't know if that helps. Peak brake torque. So I'm assuming this is in Newton meters or whatever. So this is the max RPM. So that's the matching our engine, and 4,000 Newton meters. Our V10 engine was making 13 to 1,400 Newton meters, I believe, which was right. Yeah, I think that's about, I don't know. When I converted it, it was making basically 1,200 foot-pounds of torque. Between 900 to 1,200, depending on what the heck, chassis I had on it, setting and everything like that. And the engine made about 1,000 horsepower, just somewhere in that range. It kind of fluctuated. So, all right, let's take this down to, let's put it at 10. And I think we're good here. So peak torque, that's peak torque. So do we have a torque readout back here? Let's see if we have a torque readout. Switch that, go to there. Let's change one of these to RPM. Oh, here we go, torque. And then we can do power. There we go. And we'll do the same over here. Do power and then torque. I know I'm swapping it around. Okay, so let's try this again. Drop this down, and I want to really notice what the suspension's doing. Line this up right there so we can see all the numbers. But weird. Okay, let's make sure our shifter is all the way down. So, I mean, it's pulling the suspension up. See how we're getting grip and pulling that suspension up like that? Interesting. Okay, I don't know if I'm breaking the tires loose. It doesn't give us any indication of that, but okay, so we're at 40. Let's see. Yeah, I saw 1,300. I saw 1,300 on the Newtons. And our power, 300 kilowatts. So before, I think I was having like 800 to 900 kilowatts. So this is from a start. I think if we are at a standstill, then that's when we get max 1,300 Newton meters, 300 kilowatts. So low on the horsepower. So that is interesting. So let's see, torque. Okay, let's make a change here real quick. I think it's showing 1,300 max torque, and I think, I don't remember, but okay, so this is peak braking torque. Not really sure what that means. Let's take this. I want to take this to 6,000 also. See if we can get our horsepower up, because I don't know what the formula, but I don't remember if it's like RPM versus times torque or divided or whatever, some multiplication thing can give us kind of an estimate of horsepower, something like that. When it comes to a motor, I'm not necessarily sure that applies to an engine, but I don't remember any of that stuff. Okay, so let's see what this does for horsepower. Oh, it's still maxed at 300. Now, does this have, I'm kind of curious, come back. Does this have like, oh, go back. What the heck? Excuse me. Okay, rotate back that way. Meant to go to our thing here. And this strength is 1,000 mass. Okay, I didn't know if there was like a limit to that. So we don't really have like a horsepower setting, do we? It is just, it's just this. So invert direction, auto braking, peak torque. Let's change that to 6,000 also. Max RPM, 6,000. I just want to see if we can get to the same 400 miles an hour with the electric motor. It's definitely way more stable. So, all right, let's just try this. I know there's no shimmying of the rear end at all. It does pull to the left a little bit though. And I still have to shift. Still, our power is just flat 300. Oh, wait, I did see a little bit of jiggle there. See, it's when I'm, it's, oh, shift. There we go. Let's go down a gear. Hopefully, it's definitely not as fast as the engine, but the stability wise, we're way more stable. And looks like we might be able to get just as fast. It's just going to take a little longer. So we're not as quick. Uh-oh. Oh, we got the jiggles now. So maybe it has something with the, maybe, I think it's just the rotating assemblies of, oh, crap. Okay. I don't have reverse, do we? Do we have reverse? I don't think I put a reverse on there. So my thought is it's now we're definitely seeing a reduced, like, this wall. Okay, we got to get away from the wall. It makes your character do weird stuff. So let's rotate this way. Nope, other way. All right, let's see if we can stay on this line and get up to 400 miles an hour. But I think the rotating assembly of the transmission right here is causing that oscillation. We've removed all the moving components of the engine, and that has made a huge difference. But when we get up to super high RPMs, then all of this stuff is going really fast, especially since we're in the 6th gear. So that means, you know, these smaller gears are just screaming, and I think that's probably what's doing it. And maybe it's more showing that effect more with the engine because we get there quicker, and maybe the engine has, you know, has more power, and it's just, and more also rotating stuff, that it's just more enhancing that effect. So let's just see how fast we can get to, let's see if we can keep this in a straight line. But it still has a little bit of oscillation, especially when I'm like correcting the turn. Let's go this way. But I mean, it's otherwise, I mean, it's really stable. But yeah, it's definitely not as quick, but we're capped out at 300 kilowatts. I was saying horsepower, oops, shift. But it's 300,000 watts. So, or kilowatts or whatever. Yeah, 300,000 watts. So, I don't know what that equates to. It's not a lot of horsepower. I mean, I think that's like 250 horsepower, 200 horsepower, something like that. Yeah, this is really struggling at the top end, but we're getting there. We're at 4,000 RPMs, but I'm keeping it straight. I mean, we're steering it. I'm trying to not, oh, there we go. Oh, the axles are doing weird stuff now. Okay, so interesting. All right, so it seems like the axles have a max RPM too. So I know a lot of you guys have said that there is really like a cap at 4,000 RPMs, and that's when things start to go haywire on this. But I found 6,000 seems to work okay. So I don't know, but yeah, that's interesting. All right, let's do this. I want to load up another map and test this on the actual track. So give me a minute. Let me load that up real quick. I want to save everything, and then I'll see you guys on the other track here in a second. All right, so here we are at the race course over here, and I think this will be a good testing ground since we have the actual asphalt material right here, and this does act differently than the testing blue, you know, grid line testing areas. The road surface on that is more, I guess, slippery, and this tends to grip more as far as I can tell. So let's go ahead and test this. I have this loaded back up with the engine, and let's drop this down. Have everything dialed in. The suspension up front is, you know, that's all right. So might need to lift the front end up a little bit. Not really sure why it's so squatty down there, but we'll just test it with this first, and let's just drive it like this and see how it responds. Okay. So, boy, the devs really need to work on like the engine sound. I don't know what this engine sound is. I think there's an oval track over here, but we get to see like how the suspension works. And this was like my overall like kind of goal with this is have like a realistic working, you know, suspension geometry and, you know, close, you know, as close as we can get. You know, this is closer than a lot of other games that are, you know, build like this. But we can actually see it all working really good. We need to go up in here. Is that the track? I'm not sure where. I really need the ability to look around also. Okay. Oh, is that it? I think this is it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, we're going to go down here. Go up a gear. Change gears a little bit. Am I shifting? What? Is it not? Whoa, it is shifting, but it's not registering on. Hang on. It is. I think we're on the oval track now. Yeah, yeah. Okay, this is a banked oval track, but I wanted to look at this. And oh, what's going on with that? Why is that not? Why are you not doing your thing? Oh wait, that does not need to be there. So I think I have to delete that. There we go. Okay, not really sure why that did that. I think because I ended up raising this thing just a minute ago, so I could see it when I sit down, so it's a little higher. So let's drop this down to the ground, get in our seat, and all right, let's put this all the way back to first gear. I would like to be able to control and make this stop somehow. I wonder if I could put a hard stop in this. That would be nice. All right, let's start it up. And let's go. And what is it? Is it J, H, G, N, V, K, L? One of these turns the HUD off. Not that. Guess I don't know which one turns. It was, I can't remember which letter it was. We need to go up a gear. All right, go to third gear. Okay. So we still have the jiggles, but I mean, we're like, I mean, this is nice. It is driving nice. And we got to keep it within a respectable speed, kind of. Start going apparently 170 miles an hour. Apparently. Doesn't feel like it. Can I make this turn? Oh. I mean, look at that. We're like sliding, kind of drifting around the turn. I think this is working out pretty good for the chassis setup. I mean, the wobblies and oscillation's still there, but I mean, as far as a drivable vehicle, oh my gosh. Except for when you're on the gas and hit the brakes, we're at 200. There we go. So, uh-oh. Get on the track. Hey. So I feel like this is pretty good. You know? I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. Let's do this. Let's stop. Let's stop this. Oh, stop. We're on the grass, I guess. And let me hop out. We'll just park this up in the air. And then I have another vehicle. Let's see. Right here. Okay. So this is the same vehicle. Let me check. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's working. Okay, I don't know. Weird. All right. Let's do this. So we have our speed there. And let's drop this to the ground. Let's get in here with the electric motor. Let me check. I double check the settings. I think I changed the settings. Let's go. Let's do this 6,000. 6,000. Input smoothing, we're gonna go back down to 10. Okay. Sorry, I kind of changed all that a minute ago before I got to this track. Also, I meant to raise, well, all right, we'll just leave that right there. Meant to raise this one up. Didn't raise this one up. So anyway, okay, here we go. Let's go this way and see how this thing does. All right. And we'll go back to, now we're in second gear here with this one. Ooh-wee. I think we're a little lighter in the back. So, oh my God. Easy. Oh, geez. Okay, calm down. So since we don't have the big motor on here now, the vehicle is a lot lighter. I think it gets a little bit more squirrely in the back end because we don't have any weight in the front now. Go up a gear. So you can see we're still a little rocky, you know, under acceleration. But I mean, it's about the same. Oh, yikes. Okay. Oh boy. Can we get back up on our... I feel like putting like a robotic arm that can just press a key and it will like flip our vehicle over, you know, like use a motor and just a big bar that will just flip everything back over. That would be great. All right, drop down. Where'd the track go? Okay, it's over there. Okay. So I keep hitting the start key. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dang, did we get going that fast that I jumped it like that? What the heck? See, I think it almost feels like we're on the moon or something because the vehicle's so light now. So, but it definitely is more like the electric motor makes it huge stability thing, but we're so light now that we're spinning out a little easier. So the internal combustion motor V10 that we have is definitely more easier, or I guess easier to control. Oh my gosh, I need to make one more change here. See if this helps. You get back over here and let me see if we can make the steering input a little bit more. Oh yeah, let's put that up to like 28. Just see if we can. The steering is too aggressive for the electric motor, so I need it to be a little less responsive when I'm. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I can actually get up at a high speed. Whoa. Much better. Oh my gosh. It's just we're still so light. Interesting. Okay, so let's try this. Let's grab you and let's destroy this thing real quick. And I want to take it to, where's the other track at? Is there a straight? Wow, I didn't realize all that was on the inside. Okay, so there's like a whole road course thing in the inside. Okay, where's my car at? There's me. Okay, it's over there. But if we go up, isn't there a nice straightaway somewhere? We might have to just use this track. This might be fine. Let's go over here. All right, whoa. And I was just curious if we, well, I don't know. Well, let's go drive around. I'm kind of curious now. I think there's a different track somewhere. So let's just stick this right there. Let's crank her up. And, whoa, let's shift into third gear. It works pretty good as a smooth gear for this thing. And let's cross the, oh, whoa, try not to flip over. Dang it, stop. Ugh, this is like insane. Okay, the flipping over is annoying. Okay, let me experiment with something real quick. Okay, guys, so I actually made a little flipper thing for the car, and I don't know how well it's going to work, but let's see what this thing can do here, because I'm getting tired of flipping over, and we need like a reset button, so when our vehicle flips over we can just reset it back to like a default spot on the ground, you know. All right, where's it going? Well, it's always like, these games always like have a tilt to them or something. It's so weird. Okay, what am I trying to do here? I'm going to flip it over. So let's flip it over. Flip it. Okay, flip. Jeez. All right, so now I have a button on my controller. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow, that works nice. Okay, just a simple little flipper. I got that idea from dang Robot Wars or whatever it's called. Okay, let's start this thing up and let's get the heck out of here and go explore. Okay, and we're gonna go. Oh boy, got the flipper. We're good. We have the flipper. I'm not sure exactly where everything is over here. I do feel like our vehicle is still pretty light, even with this setup. It might be because I have everything made out of titanium, including the engine. Whoa! I didn't see that coming. All right, let's flip it. Can we flip? Oh my gosh, is it working? It works. Now, I don't know what angle it's at, but I think it stopped at the chassis automatically. So that's amazing. Look at that. Got a little flipper. Okay, let's go down this. Very nice. Go around this turn. I mean, we're hauling butt. We're doing pretty good here. I feel like I might need to turn the response on the steering on this a little better too. Like, well, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I already did it. Let's go up a gear. Whoa. And we're going to push back. Whoa. Oh, shoot. Okay. We're good. Nope, we're not good. Okay. And flip it. Flip it. Flip. Okay. There we go. That's working good. I mean, the little flipper is working great. I'm more satisfied with the flipper right now. All right, we're doing pretty good. And I tried experimenting with higher grip on the tires, but it really causes us to flip over even more so. Whoa. Let's try doing something like this. Let's get out of here. Oh, my flipper's sticking out over there. We need like a angle. maybe we need a thing that tells us what angle our flipper is at. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe I should put it in the front over the engine or something. That way I can actually see where the heck it's at. Yeah, let me move it real quick. I'm going to try moving it over here. Okay, so I moved our little flipper up to the front so that I can actually see when I'm in this seating position right here. And now, and it doesn't interfere with anything either, but we can kind of see exactly how it's going to work. So let's put this guy in here like that and start the, we can see the flipper. There's the flipper, it's like a windshield wiper, and start the motor. Get going. Now test something. And I'm about to test flipping out over here in a second again. So the suspension's working really good. You guys can see how the suspension's working. Okay, so do I want to go through the tunnel? Yeah, let's go through the tunnel. And still got the wobblies. See how this side lifts up like I was telling you guys about before? Uh-oh. That's not what I meant to do. Holy moly. All right. Flippy time. Okay. There we go. Flip. Nice. How about that? All right, let's go check out what's over on this mountain over here. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Yeah, I really think it's the engine. Uh-oh. Yep, here we go. Oh my god. Okay. Come on, flip it. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I really think it's the engine's like rotating assembly inertia or whatever that's causing so many weird like that like right there, whatever that is. It really seems to get enhanced, or like it's just dramatic when we're actually in the air. You know, like if we have air under our vehicle. I'm just trying to look around this place. I haven't really explored. So, okay, so there's a bunch of nothing out there. But yeah, so like when we're getting air, it seems like the vehicle wants to just instantly turn over. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Like, oh my gosh, holy cow. Like that kind of thing, that's like unnatural. I don't really know what to do about that. That's just crazy. Okay, let's flippy. That works so good, man. Golly. All right, that's good. Okay, downshift. And the thing climbs good too. Like, I mean, we can climb up whatever we want. So, okay, that looks like I think our suspension's broken. We're steering to the left like crazy. Okay, so what I wanted to do, just as a test, you stay right there. I want to like take the grip, and I just want to make this like 100. Oh, not 1,000. Make the grip over here. Oh, 100. Okay, and we'll leave the front the way it is. And let's see if we get this thing to do a wheelie. I don't know if I need to change both numbers to 100. Let's just see what happens here. Put it like that. Start her up. Nope. Oh. Now. Okay. It may 100 may not actually work. It may not recognize that. So I don't know. Thought I'd try it. Because I did get it to happen with the electric motors. Whoa. All right. Oh my gosh. That is so crazy. Look at that. So yeah, I don't think 100 works very good with the grip. I don't think it makes... What in the world? Oh man. That is some weird stuff going on. What the heck? I don't even... Is that because I have the grip? Oh my gosh. Let's upshift. I'll just see if I can keep that going. Oh, we broke it. Broke the game. We broke it. All right, so let's do this. And let's flip you over like that. I want to save this course here. We're going to save it right there. Just, we're going to go to 10. Got so many variations of this. It's crazy. All right, so we have that saved there. And let's load in the electric car here. Oh, okay. And let's take the grip, max out the grip. Maybe 3 is the max. Just max it out there for acceleration. Okay. And let's put this input smoothing down to 1. Okay. So your peak torque, we'll just crank all that up. All right. And so that, did I need to change any other settings here? That's good. All right, now let's get in. Let's see if we can do a wheelie with the electric motor. All right. I mean, it pulls it up hard. I don't know why it veers to the left a little bit. But wait. Am I in first gear? Make sure we're in first gear. Oh my God, there we go. There's our wheelie. I was wondering, because I saw it happen before just by accident, so I knew it was kind of possible, but I wasn't quite sure. But it seems to be with the torque of the electric motor. Yeah, look at that. So we need to be in first gear and then keep it going. That's really cool. Can't really do that with the engine because it doesn't, we need it to rev really fast. I think the engine has the torque, but we can't get instant revving like we can with a motor, electric motor. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Make drag cars now. I'm kind of feathering the throttle, but we can see like the electric motor on the rear end with the oscillation issue just isn't the same. I mean, it's still there. Like there's still some kind of oscillation going on, but I mean, it's just so much more manageable. So I don't know exactly, but I think we have a pretty decent platform now to work with to start developing this thing further. I'm going to let the devs figure out the rest. I think that's going to come down to, you know, how the physics work with the engine and the suspension. You know, there's obviously like maybe some slack or something that's allowing this like oscillation thing going on. Oh, I don't have my little anti-flipper on this thing. Shoot. So yeah. Well, all right. I guess I'm going to end the episode here. I just kind of wanted to cover, you know, some of those things and, you know, just see what we could resolve in a bit, you know, just from everything that I've been doing with suspension. I think I've kind of maxed out everything that we can do. You know, I've tried a lot of variations for the suspension setup, you know, including some of the other, you know, guys that I covered in the last video and how they did their suspension and some of the other designs. I've looked at just about everything on the dang workshop. And while some of those other suspensions, like on this guy's, if we go, where is it? Hey, come back. Whoa, that's weird. Flip you back. But if we go back to the thing here and we go to this area, this dude, wait, which one is it? Right up. Where is it? Where's that guy? Here he is, Mr. RGS Racing. So this suspension is just so unique. It works really good. And it's just, I think because of the, you know, unconventional torsion style setup and, you know, using servos for steering knuckles and all that, none of this is like your typical suspension. It's very out of the box and like, you know, super brilliant in a way, you know, like way more than my brain could handle. And it's just ingenious on it, how to use this torsion bar right here going through the whole, all the way from the front to the back. So, I mean, you know, super respect to this dude right here for making this thing. But I really wanted a more traditional setup like you would have in a normal car, and going over terrains and stuff. And this thing is not quite the same. So if we take this guy out for a spin and start her up, let's see. And I'm just going to shift gears here. There we go. His controls are opposite of mine. But, you know, so obviously we don't have the suspension has zero oscillation on this vehicle. Well, maybe a little bit right there, but I mean, as far as compared to like what mine has, it has none. But, you know, if we go off road, this thing just bounces, right? Because the suspension isn't really the typical stuff. I mean, it's still able to do it, of course, but we're just bouncing all over the place. So it's kind of, you know, a totally different, you know, animal in a sense. And which makes sense. I mean, this is like, you know, like a Formula One car. You're not going to take a Formula One car out on, you know, streets in, you know, New York or something and go over hills and bumps unless you're like Ken Block or something like that. But, you know, this is just meant for road courses. So it makes sense to have like a suspension setup like this, which is almost like a solid, you know, straight axle setup, you know, because there's just really hardly any flex going on this thing. But this, let's go some gears here. But this thing does great, you know, on this track as well. And I think, you know, I think the setup that I have though is actually more manageable on steering. Like this one's a little harder to steer, and the grip is like really hard to fine tune. Now it's not, I don't really think it's his build. I just think how the devs have the grip set up, you know. Also maybe a little bit more steering angle on this might help, you know, and maybe dialing it back a little bit. But like I'm not nearly able to go as fast around a turn like, you know, with this thing. So So I don't know, but I also suck at driving this, so it could just be my my issue. But like right here, see, we kind of have like, I think I've broken the suspension a little bit because it now wants to steer kind of like to one side. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's acting weird now, but it'd be nice to have a reset button. This has just 3 gears, so it's doing pretty well around that turn, but see, we get kind of like, as soon as it catches a little bit of air, it's game over, you know? And that's where the suspension really comes in. You know, if you have a little bit heavier vehicle and the suspension can drop down and stay on the road, then we're not so, you know, bouncy in the air. So I don't know. You guys, see, I'm just trying to go up this thing right here. See if we can make it up here. Might have to downshift. We're making it. There we go. So I don't know. You guys, let me know what your thoughts are, and oh my goodness, in the comment section on, you know, what you think I could do to tweak things out a little bit more. Isn't my car over here somewhere? I thought I parked it over here, or maybe I parked it over here. Isn't there a road over here somewhere? Oh my gosh. See, this one kind of does that same thing. I think it has to do with the engine, because I like how he has this setup. He's got a really cool, like, he's got like a V10 also, but it's upside down, and it's like super low profile. I'm using the, I think, is this the exhaust, or is that the intake? I think that's the exhaust, and then he's got the intake on the top side. So yeah, pretty clever setup, you know. Using the wide angle block too, which is nice. But I think is this one. I think he's either using this one or this one. I'm not sure. He's got to be using that, I would think, or maybe he's using something else. Oh no, he's using clever. Okay, so he's using 2 of these or 2 of these. I'm not sure which one, or even that one. I didn't think these were in here in the game when this thing was made. So I don't know, maybe he's modified it. I like the color of that exhaust too. That's kind of cool. It's got that titanium look to it with it all burnt. So very clever vehicle, one of my favorites in the game. So definitely inspired a lot of stuff on my vehicle, wherever the heck it's at. I think I lost it. So it's got to be, oh yeah, I can fire. We can use the little nav bar at the top to find it. So anyway, I'm going to end the episode here. I meant to end it a minute ago, but I just kind of got sidetracked on that. But you guys let me know what you think about the latest vehicle setup, and it's definitely improved and is working a lot better. If you guys have any other ideas on some changes I can make to make it a little bit more stable, but I really think it comes down to just all the rotating components inside the engine and probably the transmission as well, that's causing it to have that strange oscillation setup, you know, or weirdness going on. But I don't know, you guys let me know your thoughts on it. And with that, I really appreciate it, and make sure you guys like and subscribe on the video, hit that little bell notification for more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.